what do you like the most about your job?
Here at Quest Martial Arts, we are incredibly blessed that we get to meet the coolest families. So we have people from all walks of life and all kinds of professions, all age groups. And so my favorite part of the job is interacting with all of those different kinds of people.
I like the idea of seeing the students learn something new. I like that when that little light bulb goes off in their head and they get that aha moment.
I like helping the kids. Actually, watching them grow and watching them get better at their own job makes me quite happy. I enjoy doing that the most.
And what do you dislike the most about it?
I don't know that there's necessarily a part that I dislike. I wish sometimes that we had a bigger space so that we could help more people, because sometimes it gets a little bit crowded and a little bit busy.
I think the only thing that I dislike is when you see the opposite end of it, when you see a student that is hard on themselves because they're not getting a skill fast as they want to, and so you wind up seeing them being discouraged with themselves and trying to work through that.
And what would you do when you see that?
I just try and let them basically talk them through the idea of letting them know that anything in Taekwondo takes time. It's not something that you are just going to get right off the bat. It's not anything that you are going to be proficient in right away. And nobody was an expert when they were a white belt.
Probably the hours. Not that they're difficult, but by the time my school ends, the first class has already started, so I have to be there in biking here like instantly.
So how do you manage that?
How do I manage that? I just try to bike as fast as possible, safely, but
What is the most funniest thing you have seen a little child do?
So we start working with children as little as 3, and so sometimes when they run around on the floor, we find little surprise packages that have fallen out from their clothing, and so yeah, we've had little poop nuggets end up on the mats occasionally because little kids get too excited and they don't want to go use the potty.
Oddest thing I've ever seen a child do. I've seen a really small child run up the warp wall at the back and get way higher than I thought that they could. That was pretty cool. Weirdest thing. Seeing Mr. O standing side by side with Batman would probably be one of the weird things because I'm not exactly sure which one was the coolest. I'm leaning towards Mr. O.
And what is the funniest thing you've ever had a coworker of yours do?
Oh goodness. Mr. Rowe loves to dress up in funny Halloween costumes. So last year he wore a costume that the top half of him was Wolverine and the bottom half was a Disney princess.
What is the most awkward situation you have had?
So recently in British Columbia we had marijuana legalized, and so we had a parent that uses that material, and so when they walked in you could actually smell it, and so we diffuse essential oils here at the school, and so some of the parents thought that the scent that was coming off or that they could smell was essential oils when in fact it was actually marijuana. And I find that very awkward because that's not something that myself or Mr. O do, and so it was hard to explain to other parents that that's what it was that they were encountering.
What's the most awkward question you've ever been asked?
Probably that. What is that smell and why can I smell it? And I had to explain that it was marijuana that they were smelling and no, it was not welcome at our school.
Having a group of students trying to do flying sidekicks on their own and having to deal with the aftermath of one of the students twisting their ankle because they thought that they knew how to do a flying sidekick and they did not. Wow. Most awkward thing I've ever been asked. I'd have to get back to you on that one. I don't know.
awkward or bizarre thing. Honestly, I haven't been here very long, so they're probably just picking up like 7 kids at once. They just surrounded me. It was a swarm. Maybe bizarre, as in it was dodgeball, and the wonderful Mr. O decided to pit everybody against me. So it was a large class. There was like 20 kids, and it was everyone versus me, and I was in the corner getting pelted.
What's the part you enjoy the most about being the wife of the owner?
I get to watch him in his element. He is incredibly gifted with children and with adults, both encouraging them and helping them see the full potential in themselves and helping them overcome some really amazing obstacles. And so we're incredibly blessed here at the school that we see sometimes little kids as young as 3, and then later on we get to see them as adults and they bring back their own children. And so to be able to watch that and to be able to do that over the last 10 or 15 years has been quite amazing.
And for you, since you're an instructor, what is the hardest thing you find as being such?
Basically, the time factor. I would love to spend a lot more time with students, but having a limited amount of time, basically you have to try and condense as much information as you can without overloading the student.
Trying to keep track of people and just like what pattern they're doing or what they have to do at once. Just trying to separate who from who and who to help at once.
For you, what's been the most unexpected thing that's ever happened that you just didn't dream would ever happen and it just threw you for a hoop?
That I get emotional when other people's children grade. I get very attached, and so when I see other people's children succeed, I get as emotional as I would if they were my own kids, because they are really partly our kids too, and we get to watch them change and grow, so that's super cool.
Having kids actually recognize me. Honestly, I'm not good at names, so I don't expect many others to be.
If you could change something, just one thing about this school, would you change anything at all?
I wish we didn't have to charge money. I wish everybody could come for free. Unfortunately, it is a business, and that's the hardest part, is that you want to help everybody. And so if we won $1 million and never had to charge anyone ever again, that would be the best thing.
The job itself, probably nothing. My availability to teach, I would love to have that increase. Unfortunately, being a parent, I am driving kids to and from different activities and to and from school and college, and so I spend a lot of my time being a taxi. So yeah, I wish that I could spend more time actually teaching.
My ability to get here quicker, so preferably just me getting older. I need a car.
You could say one thing to the audience watching, what would it be about the school?
Martial arts is not kicking and punching and hurting people. It is so much more than that. It's about instilling confidence and courage and self-esteem and, protecting yourself and learning how to interact with other people. And so martial arts isn't about fighting and hurting people. It's about becoming a well-rounded person. And a lot of people don't know that.
It's a great way to get exercise. It's great for having a healthy mindset, and it just helps you relax a bit. Everyone's trustworthy. It's just a good time.
And what is the most disgusting thing you've ever had happen on the job?
That would be one of the Treadholm sisters throwing up on the mat. That was fun.
Disgusting thing. One child, I think 5 years old, they would keep licking their belt and then gripping it really hard, so it almost dripped at times. It was kind of gross.
How about an adult who takes it?
He tried to beat me to be more magical, but I was a fairy, so I was.
You got to be a fairy?
Yeah. So
Oh.
I was more magical than Mr. O, and he tried to beat me with more magical.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who won?
Okay, now do it.
Fiasco, as in
Something gone wrong.
something gone wrong. I think we had one. We were doing this thing where we had to go through the back door, so it was super dark. And one kid almost had a breakdown because they didn't want to go into the back. They're quite scared of that. And that was probably the worst thing that's happened, at least while I've been on the job.
Answer what was the most awkward thing you've ever been asked?
I think the only awkward thing I've ever been asked here is one of our students, the lovely little Alex, asking me on a few occasions for that she was going to give me 3 wishes and that I have to come up with 3 wishes. Usually when she's wearing her genie pants, and she knows what genie pants are.